Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Dimension Police standard deck profile for post My Glorious Justice. I was debating on whether I wanted to call this deck profile a Dimensional Robo deck or just a Dimension Police deck in general. It's I would say, a definite focus on the Dimensional Robos we have for standard format. They're very strong and powerful cards, focusing on the new Superdimensional Robo die liner for its additional power boosts you can give off of its own effect, also giving the shield power to all your grade 3 units as well for extra defense with the bumped up number of grade 3s we're running in the deck. Very happy with the results of just how consistent all the new cards work with the old ones as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. Now, I purchased a good amount of My Glorious Justice and still was only able to get 2 Dimensional Robo die liner, which I definitely want to run for. It's the main card of the deck, so I'm just subbing in Super Dimensional Robo Diusha for now, which I really do like the fact that we have other good grade 3s to sub in for the other ones for now, but I run 12 grade 3s in total, with the main one being Super Dimensional Robo die liner. All your grade 3 units get plus 10,000 shield, so it's a definite boost to all the defense power for your grade 3 units. And then on Vanguard, it has a once per turn Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 normal unit from among them. Put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. If you revealed a grade 3, this unit gets plus 20,000 and extra critical until end of turn. So running a bigger grade 3 count is definitely vital for the second effect as well. You're not really minusing too much because of the fact that you have your plus 10 shield, which is a definite bonus as well. My biggest fear with running a bigger grade 3 number would obviously be the shield numbers that I have in my hand. But since we can rely on the plus 10 shield with die liner as our Vanguard, definitely does come in handy, so we can rely on extra shields if we have multiple grade 3s in our hand. And having the 12 that we run in the deck definitely does come in handy just for additional consistency with your cards and being able to open up your grade 3s for its plus 20,000 critical. And using the Imaginary Gift Force, depending on if you use Imaginary Gift Force 1 or 2, you can even have more critical power or just more pressure to go and hit your opponent's Vanguard, unless they have obviously the perfect card. And I also am running 4 Super Dimensional Robo Dizeris. Only have the 2 Dizeris. I swear I've pulled so much Aqua Force, which definitely expect a deck profile for Aqua Force very soon as well. But was only able to pull 2 Dizeris. But with this, during your turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 for each card in your damage zone. So along with being a buffed up power unit and also sharing Imaginary Gift Force, just like Die Liner, it also just has the option at the end of the battle attack if your Vanguard is 35,000 or greater. This is a rear guard effect as well, so remember that. Counterblast 1 and put this unit into your soul, and one of your Vanguards gets plus 10,000 and a drive plus 1 until end of turn. So with the additional grade 3s, you search, which definitely does help with the consistency for die liner, being able to add the cards to your hand, and then being able to call Dizeris to rear. Gives that monster the extra power boost you definitely need, making up for the grade 3 you put into soul, of course, but also just being able to have that additional drive check to hit big pressure numbers with the trigger lineup we run in the deck as well. And like I said, I wanted to run the 12 grade 3s, so I'm also running 4 Ultimate Dimensional Robo Great Diusha. With this one, when placed, 3 of your front row units get plus 10,000 till end of turn. And at the end of the battle that your grade 3 Vanguard attacked, if that unit's power is 35,000 or greater and it was not placed this turn, you can Counterblast 1, ride this card as stand, and it gets plus 10,000 to end of turn. So it's a great way to make use of multiple attacks during your turn, getting yourself a whole new Vanguard unit as well. And Dizeris, with its additional power boost to your Vanguard, definitely does come in handy for that pressure as well. We have some other units that give boosted power, but just having this to rely on is a big help as well. And like I said, the plus 10 to the front row gives your rear guards an additional boost to make it very hard for your opponent to guard against. And that is it for the grade 3s. Moving on to the grade 2s, I run 4 Dimensional Robo Die Dragon. It's a Vanguard or rear guard once per turn, Soul Blast 1, and one of your Vanguards gets plus 5,000 until end of turn. So just helps with the additional boost for the 35,000s you can hit with your Ultimate Dimensional Robo Great Diusha. And if your Vanguard's power is 35,000 or greater, this unit gets plus 10,000. So it really works very well with the Imaginary Gift Force as well. Having the option for the rear guard plus 10,000 30,000 along with Great Dayusha's additional boost is another great help for that, but I just like it for that setup. You don't really use your soul for too much else in the deck aside from Dieliner, which is your main investment card, and you can easily build up the soul with cards like Dizeris and then just have additional soul built up with Great Dayusha. So all the grade 3s work very well for the soul accumulation and then just being able to use that card with Dragon. And I also run 4 Platinum Ace. I would say this is definitely one of the best cards in the deck. During your turn, it gets plus 5,000 power on the Vanguard. So on the Vanguard alone, it hits for pretty big numbers against your opponent. And on rear, once per turn, when it attacks, if your grade 3 or greater Vanguard's power is 30,000 or greater, you Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets plus 10,000 and extra critical until end of turn. I definitely say it is a better pressure card on rear guard than Dragon, just being able to have that pressure and, also being able to invest your critical trigger on your Vanguard without having to rely on giving it to your rear guard for the additional numbers with this card. The fact that it just has that easy Soul Blast power to make use of for the 30,000 or greater, which most of the time, as long as you place your force markers correctly, Platinum Ace will definitely reach those numbers, and then along with a boost on your end, have enough to take on your opponents. And lastly, to finish off the grade 2s, I run 3 Quick Hero Active Mask. It's a once per turn rearguard effect when your Vanguard attacks. If that unit's power is 30,000 or greater, you counterblast 1 and stand this unit. So the power gain from the boost is included. So you just have the option for a restand, multiple attacks, which if you already attack with Active Mask on rearguard and then go into your Dayusha, being able to have this unit be restood for the additional power boost with your Great Dayusha after you call it, because most of the time I'll attack with the Vanguard having the 2 rear guards already restood, but with Active Mask having the option to restand means it gives me an additional attack first, and then able to restand it when my Vanguard attacks, and then have Great Dayusha come onto the field and then give that additional power boost without waste, and also knowing that I already attacked with some of my units. And that is it for the grade 2s. Moving on to the grade 1s, I run 4 Dimensional Robo Die Brave. It's a Vanguard or Rearguard once per turn. Soul Blast 1, and one of your Vanguards gets plus 5,000 until end of turn. And when your Vanguard's attack hits a Vanguard, put this unit to your soul and draw a card. So on Rearguard, it just has additional power for the draw and just the additional Soul Blast for your plus 5. The grade 1s definitely do come in handy for that additional boost power, but Die Brave and its draw power with also being able to build up your soul for other cards in the deck, including your Platinum Ace and your Dragon, are a big help as well for those numbers. And you can always just be a little short with cards to activate, like let's say Great Dayusha. So this with the additional power and with Dragon definitely do come in handy. And I also run 4 additional grade 1s. I run 3 Magical Police Quilt. On Vanguard or rear, when placed, you can discard a card from your hand, and one of your Vanguards gets plus 10,000 until end of turn. So it's another great additional boost power unit to go up against with some of the other ones you're running in the deck. I was debating how many I wanted to run, just because it's a discard card. Sometimes doesn't come in as handy as Die Brave. It definitely has the plus 10,000, which is a bigger benefit for sure against your cards. If you wanted to try out 4, I would maybe drop down a Die Brave. I like it at the 3 just for that option, but also has the rear guard effect of when your Vanguard attacks. If that unit is 30,000 or greater, you can counterblast 1 and draw a card. So just the additional draw power for the counterblasts as well definitely is an added boost on the rear guard, and also just depending on what you're going up against, if this card is on your Vanguard circle and you wanted to invest in an attack that would hit, let's say if your opponent has a just a trigger from like the rear guard of yours attacking first, you can then attack with this knowing it'll still hit against your opponent. And lastly, to finish off the grade 1s, I run 3 Glory Maker. When it boosts, if the boosted unit is 30,000 or greater, you can counterblast 1, and your opponent can only call grade 0 cards from his or her hand until the end of battle. So it takes care and limits what your opponent can guard with. Obviously they need to have that perfect guard to completely stop this attack, but just the additional numbers from your opponent's card hand can really limit them, especially, like I said, when they're going up against a pressure unit like Dieliner, and then also going up against something in which it would be very dangerous for them not to perfect guard it and then just use up all their resources as well. And using cards like Imaginary Gift XL1 or 2, especially XL2 giving you the additional critical, will be a great pressure add for limiting what your opponent can guard with Glory Maker. And that is it for the grade 1s. On to the grade 0s. For your starter, I decided to stick with Dimensional Robo Goyusha, just with all the Dimensional Robos. It may not be a, true Dimensional Robo deck, but it is a good amount of support for the Dimensional Robos, so I figured you gotta stick with Goyusha for your starter. And for the triggers, I decided to stick with the 8 critical just for the additional pressure you can get with your Vanguard alone. So I run 4 Dimensional Robo Die Racer and 4 Dimensional Robo Die Battles for the 8 critical. And then for the draw trigger, I run 4 Diamond Ace, just your draw trigger perfect guard, pretty standard for all of the decks in this format. And lastly, the 4 Dimensional Robo Gore Rescue for the heal trigger. Once again, the only heal trigger we have for the deck, but still really do like that it was a Dimensional Robo. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.